Okay, everyone. So we're getting back to our discussion again of dreams, and in this part we will talk about the dream vocabulary. Now, for those of you who like resources, I have had several dream courses and instructions. I've worked with the famous Jeremy Taylor around dream instruction. I've done some dream work with the maker of the dream journal, bring it dreaming down the moon, and it is where I've got my greatest part of my instruction. But I've been reading books on dreams that include such renowned sleeping prophets and dreamers such as Edgar Cayce and Paul Solomon. And I imagine that I have just about read everything that I could on archetypes in dreams, which would include Carl Jung, the Freudian dream analysis, and there are just numbers of people and numbers of books on dream interpretation. You must know, though, ordinarily, the little books that say that they are dream books, or they can say a bridge might mean a transition, or they might say if you dream of the color red, it means blood, or it might mean that you're angry. But these are very large generalizations. Each one of us has a complete universal vocabulary that depends on our culture, and each one of us has our independent dream vocabulary, which depends on the way we have experienced things in life. So I'll give you some examples of the universal culture and the archetypes that most people associate the same kinds of things with, and then the way we, our individual selves, might do that. So we are now discussing dream vocabulary, part 2 of About Dreams, which I have started this day to enable you to keep track of your dreams so that you will be able to also keep track of your development and know many, many more things about how to decide where to place your emphasis, and to give yourself confidence in knowing who you are, what you're about, what your intentions are, and to help you determine your walk each day. So I encourage you to use these dream notes that I give you to enable yourself as we go to our fifth dimension and claim our higher powers. It'll be very important for you to pay attention to your dreams for your instruction. Okay, so when I say universal vocabulary, I am talking about icons, and I am talking about symbols or even metaphors that every single culture on planet Earth has. So some of those metaphors or symbols would be things like trees, water or oceans, birth, death, a sunny day or sunshine, the moon. We may also consider some animals, as in the horse or the wolf, the dog, and naturally the bird. These are, and I guess I should add in the heart. These are some of the symbols that humanity each understands to be a very important part of our symbology of understanding our world. So we often say a tree stands for a one unmovable object, and an object of nature which grows mightily, say as does the oak or the sequoia tree, or redwood, you might say. Those are symbols that people understand all over the planet, that the tree is a mighty symbol of strength. It is a symbol also of growth, a symbol of branching and family. It is a symbol of roots, that is, having deep, deep, deep roots that go into the earth and are not easily uprooted. Another common universal symbol is water, or the ocean, or rivers. Oceans and rivers exist all over the world, and so those of us who know them to be and pay attention to flows when we see them. Many of us love to go to the beach, say for example, because the energies of the ocean as it rolls in, rolls out, is a certain timeless rhythm that allows us to get in balance with the flow of nature. So many people think of the water that is in the oceans or rivers as being the waters of life. Water is so essential to our being that it is the greater part of our blood, taking all of the nutrients and all of the vitamins and things that we need through our bodies to our brain and to our hearts, by virtue of the fact that it is the flowing liquid of all of life. So we say that water then is a very important symbol of all of humanity. We need it to drink. We need it to wash with. We need it for our various rituals. And in many instances, it's used as a purifier. It's understood to be a life-giving substance. So all of humanity understands the nature of water as a symbol. There is also birth. There is no culture on planet Earth that does not have a birthing ritual or an understanding of birth, that is the beginning and the first breath of a new being on the planet. So that could be anything from a horse to a baby to a kitten to even a little snake using its little tooth to break out of a shell. So birth is a very significant symbol on planet Earth in every culture. And when something is born, there is usually great cause for celebration. We understand it to be the newness of things, and that something of life progresses each time something else is born. When life progresses, then the race and the whole culture of human beings on planet Earth progresses. And birth, of course, is not limited to this planet, but we use the word birth in many, many other sections of life to say, okay, the birth of a new business, the birth of a country, the birth of a nation. These are some of the ways in which the word birth has become very important. Then there is the sun, or a sunny day, as a symbol for all cultures on the planet. All of us understand that when the sun is shining, it is an invitation from the great universe for us to lift our heads and let the beams of that beauty and that health and nutrition fall down on us and enliven our cells, renew us in the light that we so much need to go about our business, the warmth that we need to go about our business, the light that we need to see where we are going. So the sun has a big symbolic vocabulary, and many people use it as you are the sunshine of my life, which means that someone is very, very important to you if they are the sunshine of your life, since sunshine is the very thing we need for all of life on planet Earth to exist, in addition to that great metaphor of water. There are other icons such as the heart. And the heart itself beats relentlessly and ceaselessly in the chest of every human being, but each animal or thing on the planet has some pulse of the greatness at the center of our universe called God. That greatness that we understand to be everywhere at once gives life to us all and has done so for eons, for timeless, eternal, fathomless times. It has been there and ever will. In that we say that God is omniscient, omnipotent, and immortal for all time. And the heartbeat that it set in motion is just a small proof that we are a spark of that eternal being. So the heartbeat, boom, 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 is so important that every culture says when they fall in love that they give their heart. They have their lives, the essential mechanism for knowing that we live is the heartbeat. When a baby first comes into the world, is maybe gently nudged into that first breath, we listen then for the heartbeat of the child. And at times on the planet, we say we need to get to the heart of the matter. That is the very, very source. And when we take things to heart or learn things by heart, and when we say that our heart is in it, or our heart is given, these are all, again, reflections of how important the heart as a symbol is on planet Earth. There's no culture that does not put its hand over its heart. There's no culture that does not use the heart as a mechanism for pledging its truest feelings. So the heart is a universal symbol. And then there is the idea of flight. Many of us have dreams of flying, and if that is the case, some may do it in machines, some may do it in contraptions, some may do it with great wings, and some may do it with no wings at all. Some may just simply think themselves from one place to the other. But in any case, flight is a symbol that the universal mind of man and humankind literally hold as a sacred possibility. So though we have many airplanes and many kinds of airplanes, from little single propeller jets to little propeller planes to great jets and engines that take us out into deep space, but flight in and of itself is a symbol of our dreams. So we again point out to you that these are universal. And I could go on and name so many other universal symbols, such as the sky or children, or I could name wolves or horses and dogs, as I've said. All of these have meaning to every culture on the planet. But what I want you to understand is when we dream of these things and they show up in our dreams, they will mean largely the larger meaning first. But in our own dream vocabulary, they might mean something altogether different. So let's try to talk about that for a moment. Flight, as I have said, is about one of humanity's most cherished sacred hopes and dreams. So we want to be able to be like the birds and lift ourselves off the gravity of the earth and be free and unchained and off into the great blue wonder of all things, from here to there, from a point A to point Z, or double A to double Z, and to the ends of the universe, if at all possible. But when you have a dream of flying yourself, that may be an indication that you indeed are ready to go to the next stage, or you have arrived. It may mean that you are now able and ready for yet another big step in your life. So when you find yourself flying, examine your life to see if in fact you are. And it may not be about a Superman kind of Matrix, the one jumping out of a window or taking off from the ground into the great beyond, but it will be a sense of being elevated, of being lifted, of being released. So when you have dreams of flying, it is usually to confirm that you are now free to go, or that you have arrived, and that you're going to be doing good. If you have the fear of flying and you dream about flying, however, it won't necessarily be one of those iconic symbols for you. It will be about trying to free yourself from the fear that anchors you to the earth. And it may not be about flying at all. It may be about the fear of success. or it may be about being without someone that you have lost and you can't move on. So your dreams will teach you which of these things is true if you watch how this thing occurs in every dream. And the only way to know that is to keep a record of your dreams. So in the next video, I will talk about keeping a record of your dreams. At this time, I must have over 500 or more of my dreams categorized. I have been keeping track of them on a little sheet like this for many years now. The greater part of them started in 1996. It's when I got very serious. I had kept many journals in the past where I wrote down my dreams, but it was not systematic. The system I'm going to teach you belongs to another who had a book out some time ago about it, and obviously it did not do as well as the company had hoped, but for me it did wonders, and so I am still teaching that method and giving credit to that author for the work. So it is about following the moon and letting the moon teach you. So in the next video, I will talk to you about how to use the moon and how to track your dreams specifically so that you can begin to learn the lessons of your own heart and your own vocabulary in dreams. Again, for another example, the moon is a very important universal or cultural symbol to every people on planet Earth. But if you dream about the moon may or may not be about that light shining in the night, or that symbol of love and lovers coming together. And it may be about the shining the light of your own third eye on your life. The moon is an eye also in the dark of night. The moon is like a candle light. So when you dream of the moon, is it you coming through a dark place, or is it you realizing your deepest wishes, or is it you feeling like you have done something wrong? Only you can know that by how the moon appears in your dreams each time. If essentially every time you take a certain action, and at some point you dream about that action and the moon shows up, notice why it is night or day in that dream, and why or in what relation you are looking at the moon or feeling or noticing the moon. These are some of the things that I can say to you about starting to understand your own dream vocabulary. If you don't know what your symbols mean, you cannot meaningfully interpret your dreams, and you cannot meaningfully come to know your symbols unless you write your dreams down. So I will talk to you about that more in a moment, but I do want to recognize that many of you don't remember your dreams. And if you don't remember your dreams, you can't keep a record of them. So I have some suggestions for you on how to wake up and write your dreams down. There's several ways to do it. One is just before you go to sleep, whisper, "If I have a dream, please awaken me while I'm having it so I can record what I see of it." That's just to the universe, your guides, your angels, even your own higher self or subconscious mind will just make your eyes pop open and you'll recognize it. You have to be willing to write it down. So don't get out of the bed in the cold of night, or from the comfort of being with your honey or your husband or wife or lover in that bed. Just simply have the paper and pencil near bed, the paper and pen near the bed, so that if you do awaken, you can quickly write down the essential elements. And again, I tell you in part 3, I will tell you those elements to write so that you'll be able to track your dreams easily, effortlessly, and see when you are having, say, a past life dream as opposed to a slush dream or recall or prophetic dream, any of the ones that I've already mentioned to you. I would like to also tell you that you can set your clock to wake you up 10 minutes before you normally awaken. So typically if you wake up at 7:30 or 8:30 or 9:30 in the morning, then set the clock at 8 let's see, 9:30, 10 minutes up, 20 minutes after 9, so that the clock will alarm at that time, or 20 minutes after 7, 20 minutes after 8, to awaken yourself, and then write your dreams. Now, if you have a harsh alarm clock or a loud one, I recommend that you set them so they do not jangle you so much that your dream is lost upon opening your eyes. But the clock is an efficient way to wake up just early enough to catch the dreams while they're going on. Another thing is to ask your guides to wake you, and you will be amazed at the little touch you'll get on the shoulder or on your head, or you'll feel just the gentlest reminder come to you, and you'll open your eyes in a much gentler fashion, and then you can write your dreams down. And the thing that I do to remember my dreams is I just simply say, I want to wake up at 3:30, because I usually dream heavily between 3:30 and 5:30 in the morning. And so most of my dreams are recorded at these times because I easily awaken from my dreams to do so. So those are my recommendations for you in terms of awakening yourself to remember your dreams. One other thing that was taught to me is that you may drink a glass of water or half a glass of water before you go to sleep. And your bladder will awaken you so that you may then write down your dreams after you've tapped your bladder. So those are some ways in which you might awaken to catch your dreams while they're in force, since you may sleep very deeply. I would like to go back briefly to the idea of the symbols in your dreams. A bird in the universal culture will mean flight. It will mean a messenger. It will mean a spiritual being. In your dreams, depending on the kind of bird you see, an eagle or a crow or a red bird or a blue bird or a sparrow, it depends on which bird it is, if it's a dove. So these are the kinds of things that you come to realize mean visitations by spirit. A dove, more than any other bird, will mean for you that you really have been visited by spirit, and it may have looked like a person if it could have, but it might have frightened you. So a bird is a very safe vehicle for spirit to talk to you. If you dream that a bird is in your house, then it is a very good thing to hope that you're not chasing it out with a broom, or you are somehow upset. You have got to make peace with your spiritual side if you anticipate expanding your full spectrum of your gifts. So the oracle recommends now that you start to attend to the symbols in your dream. In the next part of what I will talk about, which will be actually keeping a record and which parts of your dreams to remember and how, I will teach you how to analyze the symbols of your dream, and also how to write what that dream means in relationship to what time of the month it is, and exactly what the themes that might be that have to do with your dreaming. Thank you very much for letting me talk to you about dreams. I think perhaps I may not have talked to you as much about the sun being a bright and shiny day in your life, or the heart being you falling in love or out of love, or death being a change for you and rather than the actual death of someone. These are some of the things that you will come to learn as you have repetitive dreams about the same subjects or with the same people. And once you've got that down, you will feel much better about how you understand yourself and your world. And from that point, the spirit can then start to teach you how to read the signs that are out in the everyday world that really are meant for you to understand, because you understand your dreams. And then the illusion that the world sometimes will drop away, and you'll see things symbolically, and you'll know when you're being spoken to and guided. I've given you a great deal of information here, and you must forgive me if it got a little talkative, but I invite you to now go with me to part 3 which is how to keep a record of your dreams. Thank you.